Welcome to the channel. This time around I'll be tackling that clutch that's slipping. It's been going on for a bit and I was hoping to have fixed it by just cleaning the discs a couple episodes ago when I did the seals on the engine. But that didn't fix it, so I got a new set of clutch discs and I'm going to do it on frame. I'm not going to pull the engine to do this, so I'll just have to strip it down a little bit and get to the clutch and get that fixed. So let's do it. Okay, it's on the lift and the clutch is exposed. That was pretty easy. Whoops, left the bolt down here. Same old as I did previously, but with the engine disconnected or engine removed. I'm just going to use an O-ring pick to get the little springs out and the pins. Hopefully it goes okay. That's the last of the springs. Okay, take it apart. Pressure plate. And the clutch pack. Well, that was okay. Here we go. It's apart. Here we go. Got the clutch apart. This is the new kit I got. I got 6. They're actually Suzuki genuine parts, but with 6 in there, I'm wondering if they use the same components for something like the K15, for example, that requires 6. This one only requires 4 of each, the driven and drive discs. So I'm just kind of wondering. I got 2 spares for, guess, for backup. Who knows? Whatever. I'm going to do a few measurements here, and just for curiosity. And I'll just measure the stack first. I don't think that's in the specs, but stack is 18. What do we got here? 18.27. 7 millimeters. And I'll split them up. Okay. I'm just going to take an average of all the discs here. .92, 2.92. This one's 2.94. 2.90. I'll say on average it'd be 2.93. Okay, measure the new ones. 3.06. 3.06. Whoops. 3.04. 3.06. I guess it's safe to say they're 3.06. So it's a little better. So let's do the stack again with the new discs. See what we have. Okay. Whoops. I gotta open up the mic. Let's see what we got. $18.70. We gained some. All right. Now I'll just get the specs and be right back. Okay, specs are 2.9 to 3.1 millimeter. So the new one is right in the middle of the specs. I was hoping to have it at the maximum, but not. And 2.9, the old ones are, like I say, they're just at the bottom end. So they would probably, in theory, you'd think they would continue working, but I don't know. Maybe the oil again. I was using motorcycle specific oil that was designed for wet clutches, but now I see the new ones. This is actually a cork material. I thought they stopped using that back in the 50s, but apparently not. It's different than what I'm used to. Used to more modern stuff. So I'm going to go back exactly to what the manual specs and just regular engine oil, 30 weight. So that's what I'm going to do when I refill the transmission case. So I'll put this back together now, and hopefully that'll take care of it. Maybe this is quite dark, maybe just the oil, but it may have been burnt a little bit. It's very, very smooth here. So we'll put it back together. Okay, time to put it back together. I couldn't see it anywhere in the manuals. I have several manuals, of course, because I do a lot of this, I guess. And I couldn't see anywhere to pre-soak new discs, but I'm assuming that is probably correct because I don't want to burn the clutch the first time I take off. So I pre-lubed it in 30 weight engine oil. And then I just, like I said, I didn't want to take any chances. So here they are. It's pre-lubed, wet. It may be the wrong thing to do, but I can't find any information anywhere about the process for installing new discs. They just tell you to put them in there. So, cross my fingers and hope I'm doing it right. Because these are wet clutches, so I'm assuming it won't do any harm. Oops. Here we go. Now, of course, my hands are all oily. Put the pressure plate on here. Line up with the springs. Here we go. That's it. Now the trusty old O-ring pick. The one with a hook. Grab a retaining pin. Okay, now the last one. Wow. I guess that's a good sign. It wasn't that tough the last time I did it. So there you go. It's assembled. Time to put things back together. I decided while the right side is apart, I'm going to do a small test to help diagnose the low power and bogging issue. I just want to make sure the crankshaft seals are not leaking. So I'm going to pressure test the crankcase, and I'll just got to pull the carburetor off, and I'm going to do that prior to putting it all back together and finding out later I have to take it apart again. So I'm going to do that, and it'll be part of the next video on diagnosing low power issues. Hopefully I find the solution to this. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And like I say, I'm going to take the carburetor off and do a pressure test, and then I'll put everything back together. I did the crankcase test, and the seal on this side is not leaking, which is good. I can hear a wee bit, but I'm thinking it may just be rings. So anyway, I'm going to put this side back together. And previously I had used white lithium grease on the gasket to allow easy disassembly just in case, which was a good thing, I guess. Okay, I got this starter seal to cooperate, and I'm just going to put it back together. And on this side, and unfortunately I'm going to have to pull the flywheel off the other side to make sure that seal is not leaking. So anyway, the clutch repair is basically done at this point in time, and we'll continue on with the other stuff. I'm looking forward to riding this thing on the street and in the trails. So I'll just have to reassemble it at this point. Well, the road test went really well. The clutch didn't slip at all. I was able to hold the power in the top gears and it wouldn't slip whatsoever. So that takes care of that. That part I don't have to worry about it anymore. The flat spot that I had before, I thought it was a complete bog, and it turns out to be a flat spot in mid-range. I was able to blow through it, and it seems to have pretty good power. My road doesn't let me go more than 45 miles an hour because it's like a dead end, and this thing isn't licensed yet. So as far as that goes, I'm really confident the clutch is okay now. The one thing I noticed when I took the clutch apart, in hindsight, hindsight's 2020, the friction plates, they were black, and I thought that may have been normal for the clutch, but looking at the new ones, they're not. That was normal because it's a cork type material they use, and the material, the surface on the friction plates, they were just as hard as a rock. So that was an indication that it was really burnt. And when I started sanding the pressure plate, I found some hot spots as well. So that confirms it. The odd thing I did find was two of the little springs holding the clutch pressure plate to the transmission input. Two of them were loose about a turn, so I screwed them back in to bottom them out. And after I did that, everything was fine. And I did notice putting the clutch back together, extending the little springs just at those 0.millimeters, made it really tough. I was afraid I'd be bending my tools, but anyway, it went okay. But it was much, much harder to put together this time than the last time. So I'm sure it's going to be good for another 60 years. So I'm hoping anyway. So now it's off to tackling the low power issue and a few other little things that I picked up along the way, like the exhaust gasket is leaking, that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's it for the clutch. It's all ready to rock and roll. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.